Hi all, today we have to discuss Spring Boot new features, that is the integration with AWS S3. So we have to do one hands-on to integrate between Spring Boot and AWS S3, and we have to do the hands-on from very scratch. So project will be created from scratch. Also we have to check AWS account parallelly. So to do that hands-on we have selected one use case. The use case is we have to first develop one Spring Boot web application. Then we have to integrate with AWS S3 using the AWS user credential. That needs to understand how to add the credential in Spring Boot application to access AWS S3. Then we have to fetch all the contents from one specified bucket. Then we have to develop one page to display all the fetched files from that bucket. We have to use ThymeLeaf as a framework, as a Spring Boot MVC framework, and then we have to add a button to view or display the file content. So to do the hands-on, we need few dependencies. Those dependencies we can have a look quickly. First is that we have to add the Spring Boot dependency, that Spring Framework Boot there is a Spring Boot starter parent that needs to be added as a parent, because all the corresponding Spring Boot dependency will be inherited from this version 2.5.2. Then we need AWS dependency. We need to add that AWS auto configuration, which is now in the slide. This auto configuration is a kind of umbrella to interact with AWS. So all the related jar files will be downloaded in our project. So that jar file we have to use to interact with AWS S3. Then we have to add the Spring Boot web dependency, Spring Boot starter web. This dependency will help us to get the embedded Tomcat server, because we have to deploy the application in the embedded Tomcat server, and we have to see in the browser. So we need that starter web, and we need also ThymeLeaf dependency. This dependency, the ThymeLeaf is required. That is a part of Spring MVC framework. So we have to develop one small page to view all the S3 contents, and also we have to use ThymeLeaf also as a model concept also, that we have to do in our hands-on. Uh, After that we need an AWS account. Anyway, we are interacting with AWS, so we need one AWS account, but we will not use any root account. What we have to do, we have to add one demo user or any users who will have only the S3 read-only access, because we are not doing any write operation on AWS. We are only fetching the S3 contents. So we need one user who has at least S3 read-only access. And also once we have to create the corresponding demo users, the corresponding credential will be added into our Spring Boot application. Those credentials will be used to access AWS. So that we have to do once we will create the corresponding user in AWS. Now we have to do the hands-on to create one scratch Spring Boot application. Then we have to interact with AWS S3, and we have to create one S3 IAM user in AWS, and we have to paste the details and display into a ThymeLeaf page. Let's start the project. So first what we need to do, we have to create one project. Yes, there is a Maven project, we have to create it. So I don't need to archetype selection. So I have to now group ID. Let's say I'm giving the group ID com dot springboot dot tutorial dot aws. Now artifact ID, let's say AWS S3 integration, and this is also the name. Let's say description of the description is integration with AWS S3. So these are the details: group ID, artifact ID, package, and the name. Now let's create the project. Yeah, now the project has been created, right? Okay, let's close this project. Yeah. So now this is the new project which have been created, AWS S3 integration. So in this project we don't have anything, only that GRE system, but I want to change the GRE system 1.5, so we want to make it 1. I have 1.8 as well as 11, so I want to change to 11. Yeah, build path, configure build path, edit, use 11, finish, apply and close. So JDK, now we have 11. Now what we have to do, if we first we have to change our pom.xml. So these are the things which I've already provided. Now we need to add the corresponding dependency in our project to get the AWS related jar file. So if you see, till now we don't have any Maven dependency. So now if we just go to our corresponding dependency, so first let's copy this from our presentation. First we need to add the parent. Yes. Now we need to add the corresponding dependency. Let's add the dependency here. This is the group and this is the artifact ID. So this artifact will give me the all the corresponding related AWS jar file and 2.3.0. Now if we go to our pom.xml, so dependency is now in place. So next what we will do, we will get the corresponding Spring Boot starter web, and then we have to get the thymidine. Yes, now we will get the thymidine. So these are the jar file or dependency we have added. Now we have to see this is a Maven dependency as it. What the exception is saying, project configuration up to date. So let's Maven update the Maven project. Maven project. Yeah, updating Maven project, and I don't know why this is that there are no JRE installed in Workspace that specifies that build path specifies execution memory that are strictly compatible with this. Okay, let me see what is happening. Warning, build path, configuration build path, compiler. Yeah. No JRE in this till now. Okay, this is now 1.8. What happened? Let me see once more. Configure build path. Don't share it. Specific, apply. Compiler settings have changed. Rebuild. Yeah. So now the 1.8, so there is some compliance issue in the version mismatch, but we are using the 1.8. So that's also fine because in my system both versions are there. So now if we see our Maven dependency, you will see that all the corresponding Spring Cloud are there. Also SDK has been downloaded. We have also the Tomcat Thymilip also, and also that corresponding Tomcat also should be there. Yeah, Tomcat embedded code jar also is there, right? So all the relevant jar file is in my system. So next what we will do, we have to as the jar files are there, we have to start to do the develop the controller and the Spring Boot application. So let's create the package. Okay, let's create the package com.springboot.tutorial.aws.s3. Yes. Now create the Spring Boot application class file AWS S3 Spring Boot application. Yeah. Now we have to add the main file. Yeah. This is a standard Spring Boot application, so I'm not explaining because I have already published one video to start how to start the Spring Boot application from scratch. Hopefully you all know that how to develop a Spring Boot application. So now Spring Boot application is, so now what we need to do, we need to run the Spring Boot application. So Spring Boot application dot run, sorry, let me do one thing. So Spring application, yeah, sorry, Spring application dot run. Yeah, this is the Spring application class, and this is the jar file. So now we have converted our Java application to a Spring Boot application. First, let's start the Spring Boot application. So though we have not added any controller or anything, but we need to see that okay, the application is running correctly. Yes, now the application is correct. Started Spring Boot application. Now next thing what you have to do, you have to develop one controller. Spring class, yeah. AWS S3 controller, right? Okay, now first what we'll do, we will add the REST controller. REST controller. Okay, now second we have to, so now what we are going to do, we are going to interact with the AWS S3. So we need one bucket, one and S3 client. So first what we will do, we have to take one bucket, public string, let's say bucket name. Okay, I'm taking first the bucket name, then we have to take the client, private Amazon, that is the Amazon S3 client, sorry, private Amazon S3, okay. Yeah, S3 client, S3 client. Now we have to see the private string bucket location. Yes, private bucket location. Okay, now these are the things we have added in our property. We have to now add the controller, a constructor, public, let's say string, sorry, we have to do, yeah, this is our, see here the things to know, we are not creating the S3 client from the builder and if you have experience to interact with S3 client using AWS SDK, so you need to create the client builder, and from that builder we need to create that client. But here we are not doing anything. So Spring Boot is doing all the auto configuration. So this is injecting the S3 client, and based on the credential, till now we have not added the credential. So based on the credential, Spring Boot will create the client and inject in our controller. Okay, so now S3 client here. Now what we have to do, we have to simple this dot S3 client equal to S3 client, and we have to do one thing, bucket name, this dot bucket name, bucket name, we have to check one bucket name, that we have to check from the AWS. Okay, till now we have injected the S3 client. Now what we need now bucket name and the corresponding credential. Here we can do, okay, let's first check the AWS account, then we have to create that corresponding IAM user and we will get the corresponding credential. So what we have to do, so that credential we have to add into the properties file. So let's create first the properties file, blank properties file. Application dot properties file, properties, right? So properties are there but with a blank value. So the I want to show some key value. So these are the key value. These are the key we require. One is that AWS access key, one is a secret key. So that we have used for some different user, but let's see that how to get the corresponding value. But this key is constant. We need to provide this corresponding access key and secret key. Now let's go to our corresponding AWS. So this is my AWS account. So I have logged in through root, but I don't want to use the root account, so I want to use one demo user account. So now let's create that users. So let's give the demo user. Okay, now here we have two types of access types are mentioned, programmatic access and management access. So I need here only the programmatic access, because I don't want to access the console using these users. So I have to use the corresponding credential programmatically to access S3. Now let's next. See here there are three things: add user to group, copy permission from existing user, and attach existing policies directly. So I don't want to add this user to any existing group. That group has only the S3 access. And I also don't want to copy the existing permission, means I don't want to copy the permission from any existing user, because I don't have any such permission policy or permission for an existing user are provided who has the S3 access. So what we have to do, we have to do simple attach the existing policy. See, see, these are the S3 policy are there. So we have to add only the read-only access. Simply because we will only fetch the details, will not do any write operation. So now, we don't need any tag, because here we are not experimenting any tag value. So now next review and simple create user. So this user has only the corresponding read access. See, now once this is created, we have the corresponding access key ID and secret ID, and also download CSV. So once this user will be generated, you will not get this access ID. So you have two options. First, you can do one thing, you can download the CSV, keep in your local system and use the credential from the Excel, or you can do one thing, you can simply copy and paste. Here we are, let's say I'm copying the access key, and yes, and also copy the corresponding secret key. Yes, so both keys, see, I hope you have understood how to get the corresponding access key and secret key. So I have also downloaded the CSV file, but for this hands-on we have copied from that browser itself. So now let's close it. Now we have got the corresponding secret key and access keys. Now what is remaining? We need the corresponding bucket name. From where we have to fetch it? So let's go to our S3 bucket. So this is S3 services. See, I have few buckets. So those buckets I have already in my S3, and we are using the buckets in different purpose, but here we have to use this bucket, Academic Excellence Tutorial. So this bucket is generally I use to keep my video or tutorial. So this is the two folders. Spring Boot, we have this 5 videos or 5 videos, and in the React folder I have 1 video. So the bucket name means this is the bucket name. So I have to use this bucket name, and these are the React and Spring Boot folder. This is the bucket name. So now let's create the bucket name. Okay, let's, yeah. Yeah, so I have now the bucket name, I have now the client. Now we have to see the bucket location to get the details, because if you go to our S3, okay, and here if you go, see, if you let's see, I'm getting the bucket location here or not. Yeah, I hope we will not get it, but we can go to the object level. Let's go to the Spring Boot. Now if we open any of the, so our purpose is to open this file, right? So what we need to do, we need to access this URL. Okay, so now to get this access of this URL, so if you see this URL carefully, so this URL first is that HTTP Academy Excellence Tutorial. These are the bucket name. Then S3, then AP South 1 is the bucket location. Means that bucket location is the, means this is the corresponding. If you go to this location, means that it is the, sorry, where it is, let me check once more. This is the region where we have created this bucket. Yeah, this is the, see, this is the App South 1. This is the region where I have created in the Mumbai region, and this is the App South 1. So if you see this bucket location carefully, so first one is the HTTPS, then it is the bucket name, then S3, then region name, then Amazon aws.com constant, and this is the file. So this is the same pattern if you go to different file also, any file. So here also if you see, this is the first part is the same, last one is adding as a corresponding file. So now for that, what we need to add that corresponding prefix, bucket location. So how to do it? First we have to, once the bucket name and client are there, so in the post construct we have to form the bucket location. Public set bucket location, set bucket location, bucket location. Okay, okay, now what we have to do, we have to this dot bucket location. Okay, now we have to do string dot format. So we have to format this bucket location in the same format which we have checked it. So now let's, if you copy it till now, yeah, if you copy this URL, yeah, so first what you have to do, this is the dynamic. So this is the first is that, okay, first do one thing, HTTPS, then S, this is the dynamic, then dot S3 dot, then the region name, means this is the dynamic, right, is then dot, then amazon.com, right, Amazon. And here what you have to do, this dot bucket name. So first one is going to the bucket name, and second one is getting the this dot s3 client dot get bucket location, means this will give you the corresponding bucket location. Yeah, this is this dot bucket name, right? So means that we are first creating the corresponding, forget about these things now. So we are creating the corresponding prefix part. So in our screen we have to add the corresponding object and display the will form the full URL and view the corresponding content. So we will keep this bucket location, means the previous prefix part. Now here what we have to do, sys out, okay, bucket location this plus this dot bucket location, right? Bucket location. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's start the application. Yeah, okay, let's start the application and see that how the bucket location has been formed. So now we have got some exception. What is this? So let me see this. Error creating invoice method name. Sorry, what is this? The specified bucket does not exist, means that academy. Oh, tutorial info. What is this bucket? Oh, this is something wrong. Tutorial info. How don't know? I don't know how this info has been printed. Yeah. Now we have provided the wrong bucket name. So now let's see this. Run the application again. Spring Boot. Okay, this problem here. Okay, see the corresponding bucket location has been printed. So this is the URL we are trying to get. So the prefix is already formed. Now we have to add the corresponding page. So next what we have to do, we have to add the develop the corresponding page. So we have to do one thing, we have to develop the corresponding REST controller. So for that I have one class, so the corresponding method. So we can do one thing, this is the method we have to do. Yeah, yes, so now this is the s3 client. Yeah, this dot s3 client. Yeah, this is the s3 client, it is there. And if you see this file, so we have that added the dashboard as a view. So we have to create one dashboard.html file later. So we have given the message, the Academy Excellence tutorial, and also we have given the bucket name, bucket location. And if you see the line number 40 here, 42, what we have done, why these methods are there? Because these methods are required to I don't want to display the file which has the 0 size, means if you see my sorry, yeah, if you see that corresponding Spring Boot bucket, you will see the corresponding folders are there, React and Spring Boot. So I don't want to display these folders, I want to skip these folders. That is why I have added this streaming object. So I want to those files who has the size greater than 0, and these are the available files. So now I need to use this get mapping and to see this page. So what you have to do, we have to create one page now. So now first what you have to do, this is the template. So templates, yeah, so create the templates folder, and we have to create one dashboard.html to dashboard.html, right? This is the dashboard.html file, and that dashboard.html file will be used to view all the details. So now I have already the corresponding content. So but you can develop, this is the view is already there, so you have to only use the corresponding view details and display in the page. So this is a standard page which is already there. If you see, this is the message I am displaying, welcome to that corresponding message which we have set. Yes, this is the, then we have that. Now if you see, this is the corresponding iteration.count, total row count. This is the file.key, means the file means if you in the object summary we have the corresponding object name. So that object name means the key means that file which we are in this page. If we go to this page, yeah, key means this is the file, object file. Okay, this is the key, and this is the corresponding last modified when the file has been modified, and we have added on the link to view the details. So now let's see the file. Okay, now start. Okay, now run the application, right? Yeah, now let's run the application. Yeah, see if there is some exception. Web server failed. Oh, okay, this is sorry, I forgot to stop the server. Yeah, this is the server, I think. Yeah, stop the server and restart again. Yeah, start the server. So now let's see if there is some exception in the console. Yeah, see, the application has been started without any exception. Now let's see, it is running not localhost. Yeah, see, now this is the page which we have developed. This is the message, welcome to this message which put into our controller. This is the key, this is the file, this is the last modified when the file was modified, and this is the button view. So now if we go to our AWS console, yeah, if you go to our AWS console, see, these are the files 3, 5, 6, and here this is the 5 file, and this is in the React we have another one, so total 6 file. So now if you click on any of the file, let's say if you click on this file, sorry, this is giving the access denied, because which file it is giving the, this is the, I hope this is a startup failure. Why this is giving? So this is the, if you go to the startup failure message, so the application you are developing to give the access to view all the details, so you need to give that access to that all users, at least read access. So now see, this file does not have the public read access, so add the public read access. Yeah, can add now. Now if you see the startup failure, see, this is the message, this is coming. See, this is the file is opening. So now once you have to click, so if you see there is some access denied, you need to give the access. I don't know, here also this file has the read only access, so read only access, and this access has given that corresponding read only access, and this file has is opening correctly, so means that it has the public read access. So I think you have understood that how to integrate with the AWS S3 using the Spring Boot, and you have to use that credential, and you can enhance this application based on your requirement. Yeah, thanks all. Yeah, that's all for this video.